Hey everyone, what's happening? Let's back today for another Brawl Stars video, and today we are going to be taking a look at the championship challenge that is upcoming tomorrow. Now, if you want to make it to the end of the championship challenge, you need to make it to the end of this video because Brawl Stars has flipped the script. They're changing it up on us, so be sure to stick around to find out all the juicy details. And as always, the most important thing is to play with the team. Your chances will drastically go up. Either use the looking for team finder, or even better yet, play with some actual people like in your club or some of your friends. Normally Siege is at the end, but this time it is the very first game mode we're going to play, and it's going to be in the map Factory Rush. Now, according to Spin, the best team comp that you can play in Factory Rush is going to be Belle, Stu, and Barley. All three of these brawlers are incredibly strong in the meta. She is probably one of the best brawlers that's going to be played across this entire championship challenge. So if you don't have her, maybe you can find a friend who does have her and he or she can play Belle. It'd be a really good option for you. The first thing to note on this map is that the bolts are going to spawn on the left and or the right side. For the first 6 or so bolts, it's going to alternate to the left, to the right, left and right. So whenever you're spawning in, notice wherever that bolt is and send 2 brawlers to that side and do your best to win that side and get that first bolt. The other brawler can go to the other side and he can, probably one-on-one on the other side. Hopefully he can lock down that lane and you guys can just sit there and collect those bolts and you'll have no problem taking that first siege bot for yourself. Now, after the first handful of bolts, then some will start spawning in the middle. Now, the best brawler that you can play in the middle here is, like I said, Belle. Belle's going to do the best job. Have Stu and Barley on each side and you can start collecting all those bolts, but Belle can kind of flex to the left or to the right and help out whatever side she needs to. Now, some other really great brawlers for this map are going to be ones like Pam, Carl, Lou, Amber, and Max. Those are all really good brawlers for this. Lou is just the ultimate defense here, especially with that big wall right in the middle. Whenever the bot comes down, you throw down your super, the bot gets stuck on the wall, it gets frozen, you burn it down, it never touches the Ike. He is the ultimate defensive player on this map, and you'll see on the brawler portraits there on screen that there's a star power and a gadget icon. Now, if one of those is not there, either they only have one or it's going to be your preference on which one you use. Seeing that this is the first set in the challenge, your competition is going to be much lower than it is going to be later on in the challenge. So play brawlers that you're really comfortable with and you should have no problem getting past Siege and on to Hot Zone. And for Hot Zone, we are going to be playing in the map Ring of Fire. Now, once again, the best brawler that you can play on this map is going to be Belle. With everybody tending to want to group up some, especially in the Hot Zone, her shots that bounce from player to player is just really strong. And so if you have Belle, once again, play her on this map. But the second best brawler for this map is going to be Sandy. Sandy does so well on this map. With his super, using the heal star power, you're going to want to just drop it right in the middle, right over the top of that hot zone. By doing that, the other team is not going to know where you are, so you could either sit in the hot zone or you could creep forward as Sandy and just give a little quick triple tap to some of the squishier brawlers that you will be seeing on this map. The third brawler that's going to be really great here is going to be Lou, mainly because of that super. Being able to drop your super directly on top of that hot zone while multiple people are standing there is going to be extremely strong. Especially, you're going to get them frozen, you're going to land those shots, you're going to be able to wipe out the other team, no problem. So Lou is actually a really strong pick on here. Some other really great brawlers for this map are going to be Ems, Barley, Pam, Poco, Stu, or Jesse. All of these brawlers are really good. Of course, Poco is just so incredibly strong in the meta right now. You can either use Screeching Solo or you can use the Capo. It's up to you. Both are going to work really well. And of course, Barley is just really strong right now. He can sit in the grass behind that wall, throwing his shots into the hot zone, just being a complete annoyance. It works really well. You could also use Tick in that way, but Barley is just a better thrower right now than Tick is. If you play it right, you will absolutely crush your enemies here in hot zone, just like you're going to crush that like button. I hope. Once you get through that, the next game mode is going to be Heist, and the map is going to be Safe Zone. Now, the best team that you can play here is going to be Belle, Colt, and Colette. Now, each brawler has really big advantages on this map. Of course, Colette is just a beast in Heist, being able to use that super to go ahead and hit the safe and deal so much damage. She is one of the best, if not the best, Heist brawler in the game right now. Running very close with her, however, is Belle. Being able to shoot the safe with your long-range shot and having it bounce off to the enemies as well and then back onto the safe, dealing constant damage to not only the safe but also the enemies, Belle is just insanely good. And Colt also has a very specific role, especially in the very beginning. You're going to want to break open the wall on the right-hand side that will allow your team to be able to move either to the left, to the right, or the center. You're going to be able to choose, and it's not going to limit you just to 2 lanes. So if you're playing Colt, be sure to break open that wall with Silver Bullet right away and give that option to escape. Now, some other really good brawlers for this map are going to be Byron, once again Barley, Crow, or even 8-Bit with his plugged-in star power. Now, if you're playing Barley, if you can work it, go around to the very upper right-hand side behind that wall, and you should be able to throw shots over onto the safe without much issue and just kite anybody around. It's going to take a double team to get you out of that position, all the while your other teammates are going to be wailing on the safe. So if you can get in that position with Barley, awesome. Crow, once again, is found here on Heist. You're going to see quite a bit of him. He is a really good brawler on this, especially if you can get into the safe with your super. Stand dead center of it, auto aim, you're going to jump up and down on that safe and deal tons and tons of damage. And of course, 8-Bit, once you got that turret down, he's just a great defensive brawler. And then finally, you can also play Amber or Max as well. They're kind of just like default choices, especially Amber. It's like if you're not sure who to play on any of these maps, pretty much you can always play Amber. Now, after Heist, you get to absolutely troll your opponents and play just a ridiculous comp in Bounty. The map is going to be dry season, and the best team that you can play, according to Spin, is going to be Byron, Tick, and Sprout. The thing about this map that makes this comp so viable is the multiple layers of walls that you get to have. So if you're in a very defensive position, you can start off playing your throwers there in the very far back. Once you gain a little bit of position, they can switch over to the sides a little bit there and cover everywhere. And then if you got really good control, you can move all the way up to very front. And once again, sitting behind those walls, just terrorizing your opponents. It's going to be ridiculous. It's not going to be fun to play against, but you ought to have a lot of fun playing it. Unless that is, of course, you bring a team comp that is going to counter that with a brawler something like Mortis, because Mortis is also a pretty good brawler that you can play on this map. However, choose Mortis with caution because it really does depend on the other team having some throwers. Now, another really great counter, if the other team is playing the double thrower or even triple throwers, that actually can work on this map as well. If your other team is playing lots of other throwers, you can also bring a Brock as well. And the reason why this is so good, with his rocket fuel, gadget, you can bust open those walls, so that gives the other team less area to hide behind. So you can use your rocket fuel to break open the walls, and then once you have your super, you can bust down even more walls, leaving those throwers really exposed. A couple more brawlers that are great choices on this map are going to be Poco and Jean. Now, if you play Jean, be sure to use magic puffs. Yes, I know Spirit Slap gives you more damage. However, you're probably going to be around your teammates more often than in close range of the enemy, so being able to heal up your teammates passively is going to be a really great thing. Now, after you get past Bounty, you're going to head into Brawl Ball, and this is the reason why this championship challenge is going to be so hard to win, because Brawl Ball is the most popular game mode in Brawl Stars, and also you'll find some of the very best players playing Brawl Ball, especially the teams. They can get so good, and it's going to be really hard to win, but if you're on top of your game, you got a chance. And to make the most of that, you're going to want to play a team of Barley, Belle, and Sandy. Once again, Belle is going to be great on this. Again, everybody's going to be condensed on this map. It's really close together, so Belle is going to make extra use of those bouncing shots. Now, this map is asymmetrical, so Belle is going to be able to want to go on the lane that has the longer line of sight. She's going to go on the long side of the lane. Sandy is going to want to be on to the other side where it's a little more closed off, where he can wall peek. And then, of course, your thrower, in this case Barley, is going to be in the middle. Now, you can use some other throwers, such as, like Tick and Sprout, or even Dynamite, but Barley is just going to be the best thrower for this map. But if you're feeling really uncomfortable and you do not want to play Barley, be sure to bring some thrower. Throwers are just so valuable on this map, so be sure to bring a thrower in your team composition. Now, some other good team combinations that you can use are, for instance, the very standard Jean, Max, and Sandy. You're going to see that in Brawl Ball all over the place. It's because it works really well. The downside to using that on this map is you do not have a thrower, so you might encounter a little bit of trouble there, but with extra speed from Max, you should be able to get yourself into position pretty easily. You might also consider using a Poco double tank strategy. Now, this one is maybe a little bit more risky, but if you get against the right team comp, you're going to be able to absolutely smash them, especially if they don't have any sort of tank stopper. If it's all control brawlers, you might just be able to completely overpower them, which would be pretty cool. Now, some other really good, just generically good on this map brawlers are going to be ones like Nita, Ems, Jackie, and BB. Of course, the other throwers do well as well, but Nita, using that bear is great. M's is just really strong, especially in the open range there. Now, I don't have any really specific strategy for this map other than to be really careful right off the start. If you lose position right away, right off the start, it's going to make it really hard for your team to come back out of that hole because the other team can sit behind those walls. They can throw shots in and you're just trapped in your little small spawn area. Try not to get overpowered right at the very start. Don't make a super aggressive move unless you are sure that it's going to pay off, because if not, it'll put yourself in a hole and it will not be a good situation for you. But it's Brawl Ball. You know how to play Brawl Ball. Hit some sweet bank shot, trick shots, bring Mortis, and okay, I'm joking. Don't do any of that. Anyways, but that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys got some good tips out of it. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below if you made it. Again, I think this is going to be one of the hardest championship challenges for anybody to win in a while now, and that's simply because Brawl Ball is at the very end and it gets really sweaty in Brawl Ball. So best of luck to you. Don't feel bad if you don't make it all the way, because only about 20% of people are actually going to finish this. It's really tough to win them all. Be happy with whatever wins you get. Take those star points and you can save them towards the Saloon 8-bit skin that I still have like 70 more games to play. Don't worry about it. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, until next time, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out. I want a different hat. Boom. You know, I want a different hat. Going old school Mega Man. No, a different hat. I want a different hat. Never mind, back to Mega Man.